No, I won't.
Can you get your hand off me? Can you get your hand off me? You get your hand off me. Get your hand off me, man. Get your hand off. Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me.
Hi guys, what's going on? It's Big Man Audits here, the auditor who audits the audits. Or the auditors. Anyway, so we're going to kick right off. We're going to go and see Kollee Berks. He's visiting Stroud Police Station. He's come round the back. He's gone into the police station's car park. And this is what happens.
Yeah, it's a restricted area, mate. Can I help you?
I'm just making a video.
It's a police station, blood. You're going to have to come out onto the path.
Why? There's an implied right of access through here, though.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about smoking and the law. So the law in the United Kingdom that smoking is not allowed in any enclosed workplace, public building, public transport, etc., things like that. It could be argued that he is smoking in an enclosed building, being a garage. And also, guys, before you tell me, no, it's not got sides on it and all the other old cobblers, you don't know what's behind there. It's always not wise to smoke in a place where there could be fuel on the floor from a leaking vehicle. So, just a first observation.
Mate, it's a police
Are
station.
you smoking?
Yeah, I'm smoking, mate. This is a police station.
I'm aware of that.
You're not allowed around here. I'm going to escort you out into the road. You can film from out there.
Oh, don't touch me, don't touch me.
I'm going to touch you, mate. Then you're going to...
Okay, so let's talk about the implied right of access. So a Section 33 under the Criminal Justice Act of 1972. And let me read you what it actually says. It's really important. Okay, it's the ability to actually have access, whether it's paid or unpaid, to somewhere where you don't freely jump over, fences and bars and things like that. That's what it means, okay? So by the fact that the gates are actually left open, it's intended for the public. You can pass through it. You're not breaking any lines. There's no signs anywhere saying no unauthorized personnel, nothing. So in the eyes of the law, the worst this could be is trespass. But of course, you don't know it's trespass until you are trespassed, and then you have to leave. So let's see how he deals with it.
Wait. Let's have a chat first.
No.
Don't touch me again, by the way. No, I'm not going to turn no camera off.
Touch you now,
no, you certainly won't. You're not going to touch.
Okay, public photography isn't a crime, right? So he doesn't have to turn his camera off. There's no legal requirement to turn his camera off in any circumstance whatsoever. I would always advise, guys, when you are dealing with the police, turn your cameras on. You've got a phone, use it. Because the phone cannot lie, okay? Film does not lie.
Area.
Don't touch me.
And you're not allowed within here, mate.
But there's nothing stopping me from coming here. I understand this. Mate, listen, just wait.
No, you wait.
No, you wait. You just come up to me and touch my
area.
and just touch me.
If you
and you're
don't leave
smoking.
now, I'm allowed to smoke, mate.
Yeah.
Okay? Just like you are.
You're not going to touch me again, though, are you? You're not going to touch me again, though, are you?
You're going to walk away?
Potentially.
Come on then, we can leave together. Come on.
But why is there...
You're not allowed around here. This is your last warning, okay? I've given you fair warning. All right? This is a police station. You are now a security risk. Okay?
Why am I a security risk? Then you...
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. He's accused Kollee of being a security risk. Now, if the police were that worried about security, then that gate that you see there would be automatic, as it is in many other police stations. Or the police should be careful enough in which to secure it. If they were that worried about security.
You should close this gate then. Why is this gate open then?
You need to leave.
There's nothing stopping. No, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You need to leave now.
Don't touch me. What are you going to do?
I'm going to escort you out.
No, you...
Okay, so let's stop it there. Littering. You've just seen the police officer put his cigarette on the floor and stamp it out. Now, he could, of course, come back later and pick it up, but I very, very much doubt it. But by dropping his cigarette on the floor, stamping on it, and walking away with Kollee, he is actually committing an offence and should be fined.
No, don't
you
touch
need to
me.
leave here now,
no,
mate.
I'm not leaving anywhere, mate. Don't touch me. Don't just come and touch me.
You need to leave here now.
No. That's not how you do it. Speak nicely. We can have a conversation and maybe you'll leave.
I've told you.
Yeah, and
this is a restricted area.
Well, I'm trying to explain something to you.
I've told you.
Under the Criminal Justice Act, this becomes a public place.
Mate, can you send a couple of lads down here? We got someone filming in the yard, refusing to leave. Thank you.
You identify yourself, please.
I already have.
You just flipped the
I've
you
just
just
shown
flipped
you.
the little thing. I
I've
didn't
shown
see
you
it.
my
What's
ID.
your name?
I've shown you my ID.
What's your name? I need to
PC
make
Davis,
a complaint.
mate.
All right, PC
To make a
Davis.
complaint. Oh yeah, can you? Yeah, we need to get this lad out of here. He's filming in a restricted area.
Oh, right, okay. You can't film me, mate.
I can film it.
No, you can't.
I have an
mate.
implied right of access to be here.
You don't have an implied right.
I
of access.
actually.
So here, obviously, the officer is going to continue to argue you don't have an implied right of access. You do. If the gate's open, you can just walk in. This is not a residential area. This is a commercial building. It's also a public building. It's owned by the public. We pay for it in our taxes. You do have an implied right of access if they leave the gate open and there's no sign saying no unauthorized access. How are you supposed to know?
Really do.
You can
Because
come
this
round to
gate
the
is
front-
open. What stopped me
you
from
can come
walking?
round
Have I
to the
jumped?
front of a
Where-
police
Is there any
station.
signs?
Mate,
Is there
I've
any
come down here
signs?
and said, can I help you? And you shouldn't be here, okay? You've jumped
I
up
can
straight
be here.
away and gone, I
No,
can't be
you've
here,
jumped
and
up.
I've
You put
told
hands on me.
Yes,
you
to
put hands
escort
on
you
me.
out of here,
Yeah,
mate.
and you can escort me without having to put hands on me. This is why I'm going to stay.
How would you like me to escort you without
in you
putting
talk
hands on
nicely.
you? I've told you to leave.
Yeah, well, you didn't ask nicely, and I'm trying
I
to
don't
explain
have to
why I'm
ask
here.
you nicely.
Yeah, you certainly do.
I've told you to leave.
Yeah, you certainly
okay,
do.
and you're refusing.
I'm
all right?
refusing because I have a right to be here. I have
You
an
don't
implied
have a
right of
right
access.
to.
There's
You
no
don't have an
signage.
implied
There's no gates.
right to be here, mate.
Davis,
okay?
listen, let
this
me
is
speak.
private property.
Let me
the
speak.
front of a house, okay, is a reception area where you can go and you can speak to the receptionist
Okay.
and you can film her all you like. And
All
I've
right.
told you to leave, and you're not leaving.
Okay,
Okay.
let me
now
say-
some people will come and escort you. Okay,
Okay, why
together with
why
me
can't you
out
escort
of here
me?
because you're not leaving under your own accord, are you?
Okay,
you're
well,
not
let me
leaving when I've
explain
told you to
something.
leave.
Let me explain something. There's no signage. There's no gate. I haven't hopped any fences. No, I'm being serious.
This is a
There's no
restricted
signage.
area.
It doesn't say no public access.
Okay.
There's nothing like that
What makes
preventing me. So
okay.
this becomes a
So
public place.
likewise, then,
There's
what
an
makes
implied,
you? What makes
implied.
you
Look at this.
think-
It's implied
what
right of
makes you
access.
think that you do have a right of access to come into a police
Because there's
station
nothing
car
that preventing
park?
me. You should better
to
close
come
that-
into a police station car park. Okay.
Why
do you
can't I
think
be
you
here?
can?
What?
I think as well what you've got to understand is from here, there's too many conversations going backwards and forwards. They're not listening to either party. Now, obviously, Kollee knows the law. The police officer clearly doesn't. What should happen in this particular case is you are now committing trespass, which I understand is a civil matter, not it's not a legal issue. I'm going to ask you to leave. If you do not leave, it then becomes aggravated trespass, which is criminal. That is the way to deal with it.
What could I possibly
Because
do here?
it's a security.
What could I?
risk, okay?
Do you think that I'm a risk right now?
Yes, I do, mate.
What?
I don't know
Based
who
on
you
what?
are.
Based
You're
on
stood
what?
here
Based
filming.
on
I've
what?
asked you to leave.
Am I being
and you
hostile?
become
You're the one that's being
confrontational
hostile.
straight
I
away.
should be scared of you.
All
You're a
right,
security
you become
risk.
confrontational.
You are a security risk.
Straight away when I've
You
told
are a
you
security
to
risk.
come out here, I've invited you to come and speak
You
to me
haven't
on the
invited
pavement
me. You
outside.
started barking
no, I
orders
didn't,
and
mate.
trying to
I
put
said you
hands
could
on
come
me.
and speak to me on
All
the
right.
pavement outside.
All right.
You're the one who's refused, all right? And now you will be escorted from the premises because you're not leaving
now that
when I've
you've got some
advised you to
backup?
do so.
So as you can see, there's many other officers coming in the background. What I would do at this particular point is I would actually start to ignore this guy here on the right hand side and address the fact that now there is a number of officers coming. An officer has to identify themselves. They are in plain clothes. They have to carry it used to be the Queen's warrant, but I'm going to say it's the King's warrant. They have to carry the King's warrant. You cannot just assume that these people are police officers. They could be the cleaner for all you know. So I would be saying instantly at this particular point, you must identify yourself because as far as I'm concerned, you're the cleaner, and should you put your hands on me, I shall consider that an assault and I will defend myself.
All right? Come on, it's time to leave. All right?
Why is it time to leave? Let
Are
me
you going to be
explain.
leaving now? I've told you to leave. We can have a chat on the pavement. Is that what you're going to do?
Come off the premises, my friend. You can film.
So here you have another officer there. You don't know he's an officer. Everybody here is in plain clothes. There's not one uniformed officer anywhere. Okay, so you can assume that they probably all are. However, you have to ask the question. You know, and being aggressive towards them is just going to get them to be aggressive towards you in a way. Now, remember, he's not being physical. Kollee's being a bit verbal. Yeah, there's no right to actually have... You've got no right to be spoken to nicely. You know, here we have a situation where it's 6-7 officers versus one person. Can you imagine what may happen or could be accused of happening should the camera not be rolling?
Perfectly well. Public property, if it's private. Off you go right now. I won't ask you again.
Right now.
Hands on you if you don't. And if you resist me, I'll arrest you. Let's go.
Why will you arrest me?
Okay, so we'll stop it there. He has just made a threat, the officer. I will put my hands on you, and if you resist me, you'll be arrested. Okay, so first of all, there's been no formal identification from this guy. So you don't know if he's an officer at all. It is highly likely, but you don't know. Second of all, he's issued a verbal threat of arrest for a non-criminal act. Okay, so he will go down the routes of non-compliance or assault on a police officer or whatever it is. Let's just see how we carry on.
Do I not have an implied right of access to be here?
No, you don't.
Look at all these people. Look, under
Mate, you've been
duress.
given a fair
Yeah, now
warning.
you want to
I've
shout
given
now.
you loads
Now
of
you want to
warnings,
shout.
so
Under
let's go.
duress.
Let's go.
Well, don't touch me. Don't touch
Let's
me.
go.
I'm
Your hands
leaving.
up.
No, you don't
Private
touch me.
property.
Get your hand off me.
No, let's
Get your
go.
hand off me.
No, I won't.
Can you get your hand off me?
Leave.
Can you
I
get your
want
hand?
you to
Get your
leave.
hand off me.
I want
You
you to
get your
leave.
hand off me.
Relax.
Get your hand off me,
I'm just
man.
helping you off
Get
your
your hand
license.
off. Get your hand off
I'll
me.
hold on to your
Get
hand.
your hand off me.
Okay, right. So now there's an assault. Depends on how you look at it. The officer has essentially committed common assault. This happens when an individual, or individuals in this particular case, purpose is to inflict an unlawful or reckless force on another individual or individuals, causing them harm. Now, it doesn't have to be just physical harm. It can cause distress. There are a number of people there. There are more, not one uniformed officer in any of it. There has been hands placed on a potential victim. You don't have to cause the victim, massive amounts of harm. And even assault doesn't have to be any contact whatsoever. It can be the fear of the contact. It can be the fear of an injury. For example, if someone has a dog and they say, if you don't leave me alone, this dog's going to bite you. That is an assault, even if the dog does nothing. So in this particular case, there's actually physical contact, which could be classed as common assault.
Get your hand off me.
Here we go.
How am I causing a disturbance?
Here we go.
How am I causing a disturbance? Get your hand off me. Why are you all putting your hands on me? Yeah,
holding to your
what
bag
crime is that?
before we
Get
leave,
your
okay?
hand, get your hand off
Now
me.
you're
Get your hand off me. I have an implied right of access to be.
So now what's going to happen is the officers are just basically going to fob him all off. But look how many of them there are. Not one uniformed officer.
There.
you don't.
Yes, I do, because the
If you
gate's
want-
open and there's no
if you
signage. Can you
want to-
identify yourself?
Hold on,
You
listen.
just put hands on me without identifying yourself.
Okay, and very rightly, Kollee's asking, identify. And this is now a refusal to identify.
Stop talking. Let me explain to you then. Okay? If you want to come down to reception,
No, I don't want to come down to reception. Look.
don't talk to me.
No, let's talk. Let's speak. Can you identify yourself, please? Just put hands on me without identifying.
Okay, so let's examine the situation. Eight, okay, non-uniformed officers, not one of them, except the original officer, has provided evidence that they are, in fact, police officers. It's very difficult to determine the lady with the red jumper and the big arse as a police officer when she hasn't identified. She also hasn't interacted, but she is there. This is a complete show of excess force.
I've tried to explain to you, but you're
Okay.
talking and talking and talking.
All right, you explain.
If you want me to speak,
I want you
will
to
do.
explain.
If you don't, keep chatting on. And
See, another thing, look at this guy. Tell me on what part of this guy looks like. He looks like an electrician. Look at his trousers. Paint marks on there. He's carrying like an electrician or a painter and decorator outfit. Who the hell are these supposed to know? The guy on the left, Under Armour jacket, his ID badge turned backwards. And what's he on? A summer holiday? And his friend on the right hand side of him. I mean, look at her. She looks like she's just about to go shopping. No identifying marks whatsoever.
get onto public property, okay? If you want to go into reception, make any complaint you want, or ask for any access you like, you can do that.
Please
okay?
explain.
There's no implied permission to enter this property.
All right, explain
There's
that
a
then.
gate here and it's a closed premises.
Explain
Not allowed
that.
to be
Then
on
why
here.
is the gate open?
Nothing to do with you, is it?
Right.
I'm
It's absolutely everything to do with it. The gate is open. There is an implied right of access. If you want it secure, what a single sign, no unauthorised personnel beyond this point. And if the gate is open, then there's a clear sign and a clear indication that you cannot walk there.
telling you this is private property.
Why is there no signage?
That's all I need to tell you. Don't worry about signage. I'm telling
What do you mean, don't worry about? Of course I need to
I'm
worry
telling
about
you,
signage.
You can't be on here, okay? So, that's the end of it. Any other questions?
Why is the gate open then?
Any other questions for me?
Yes. Identify yourself.
No, I've got no other. Would you identify yourself, please? Would you identify yourself, please? Just put hands on me.
Back over there.
So are we going to be this petty over whether I'm stood here or there?
Yeah,
You're going to put
yeah.
hands on me again? You're going to put hands on me again over this, are you?
Just do it.
Why? Why do I need to just take orders? Look, I can be here. There's no signage from stopping me being here. There's no signage. Yes, there does need to be signage. There needs to be a gate.
There's no signage on my house to say that you're not allowed in it, but you know full well that it's private property.
Yes,
and you're
but
not
your
allowed
house
to do
isn't
so.
paid for by
And to
taxpayers,
step
is it?
over,
My tax
it
pays for
doesn't
this. Of
matter.
course,
It is still
absolutely
private
matters.
property.
It does matter. It's a fact, okay? You know that if you walk into somebody's house, once again, and you have no other criminal intentions, you're not going to steal, you're not going to sit there and cause damage, you're not causing a threat to life, and you just walk through someone's back gate, it is trespass. Now, they can do certain different things about it because obviously they don't know your intentions, but this is a public building. This is owned by this is a police station. Surely by now, police would have understood the law, but they don't. What they do is they take an assumption and then pass it on to you and telling you you're the one in the wrong. If this was so much the case and Kollee was causing so much of a problem and it was such a secured area, he would have been arrested under the Terrorism Act.
You have an
Access to the
occupational...
front of the property.
You talk, then I'll talk, yeah? You have an occupational lease that you're renting this off, yeah? So, and you're doing a service for the public, so the public have got a right to access this place. I understand you may not want people to go through there, in which case you should secure it. Why are you laughing? I'm just trying to make a point.
Need to secure
Would
it.
you mind identifying yourself, please, before I take any advice from you?
Yeah, my name is Sergeant Kirsty Iliff.
Right.
Now, can you please step back over?
Are we going to be this petty over this?
Yeah.
Is this just for you to exercise jurisdiction?
Right, if I walk away from here now, are you going to remain on public land?
I don't know.
Okay.
Public land...
My colleagues and I are going to leave. If you come back onto private property, you will be arrested, all right?
Arrested for what?
You'll be arrested. That's not...
Arrested for what?
I'm telling you.
What
you'll be
offence?
arrested
What
for being
offence?
on private property.
What?
Okay, so quite frankly, she hasn't got an absolute clue of what power she can arrest him under. Okay, so far he hasn't been trespassed, really. Nobody's told him he's trespassed. And now you're going to be arrested. What? A threat? A threat of what? For what? Under what section of what act are you going to arrest him under?
Trespass. Is that not a civil matter? Why will I be arrested? You're just throwing around these threats.
Can I ask you what it is?
Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm here doing a legal activity. There is certainly an implied right of access.
There's not an implied right of
There
access.
absolutely
because
is.
you've just been told
Then why
by
don't you
me and
close
my
the gate
colleagues
then?
that you're not allowed.
So because you say so, there isn't. So
Yes, that's
because you
correct.
say so, there isn't. I don't.
Okay, so there we go. Just because she says so, that's correct. It's a nonsense. So here, she's just a complete abuse of powers yet again. You'll come back on, you'll be arrested. You do this, you'll be arrested. You'll do that, you'll be arrested. Listen, this is what gets you public disrespect. You know, there is a way to talk to people and do not lie to them. If you don't know, don't say anything.
So I don't think that's right.
What is it that you're doing here?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Nothing has upset me. This is not. I don't have a personal vendetta against police. I'm just exercising my right to walk around in a public space and film. I haven't come here because I've got a personal problem with him.
So what are you doing with the film? What's
Because I can film. I don't need to have a reason. It's a lawful activity. If I want to film, I will film. And I've answered your question, which is that I don't need to have a reason. I don't appreciate you smirking and doing all these things and putting hands on me. Like there was no need for that.
What?
You guys are very tense, very
If you
goony.
just listen to what we asked you to do, that's then and just.
Yeah, but I don't need to listen to because I'm not committing any offences, am I? Am I committing an offence? Have I used any bad language or anything?
So you did.
He was just putting hands on me straight away, and then you lot have come out and you've done this. Why are none of you in uniform as well? Like, what's going on? What's going on here? Like, what's this? Stroud Police Station?
Who?
Stroud. How do you Stroud? Is it Stroud? I don't know. Would you mind identifying yourself, please?
Do you mind identifying yourself?
I'm certainly not going to identify myself.
Okay.
Have I committed an offence?
Okay, my friend.
Okay, where do the cars come in and out of?
Now we're going to have a staring competition. He's been asked to identify, okay? It's in every police code of conduct that they must identify themselves when requested to do so by the public, especially when they're not in police uniform.
Just a question, Ben. Where do the cars come in and out of?
Coming out of where? Sorry.
So am I not on private property now? What, like, am I going to be? You're going to put hands on me again?
Obviously, you are trying to get a reaction.
I'm definitely not. It's just petty, though, isn't
You're
it?
clearly just doing it to try and get a reaction, okay? Which
Okay.
is fine, okay?
Okay.
But you know, once my colleagues have said, you come into there again, okay? There's obviously police cars, whatever, around there. We don't. It's not right that you're filming that, and you know.
So what would be the offence if I was to go and film there?
Well, at the end of the day,
Am I obstructing anyone?
well, we got to find out what you're. You know, we don't know what you're.
Well, you just said I'm
Therefore-
looking for a reaction. You figured it out, haven't you?
Well, no,
This is your opinion.
I don't know what you're here for.
Well, you just said I'm here to cause a
No,
reaction.
you could be a security breach for all we know, okay? This is the problem. This is the whole point. You're going there. You know, we've got to think about
What
it.
would suggest that I'm a security breach?
I don't know. You're not telling me anything about you. Why you're
I'm
here?
not required
why you're here. No, that's fine. That's going to make us. If you were honest with us, we might, what you're here for.
So I don't need to explain anything, do I?
There you go. Okay.
But I'm going to ask again, where did the cars coming in and out of?
Well, if you hang around, I'm sure you'll see.
Alright, you're dismissed.
Obviously, dismissing the officer is sort of going to wind it up a little bit more. You know, there is a heightened security threat. Of course, we understand that. Obviously, people are worried about terrorists, etc. But terrorists don't go around during the day filming police stations. It really, really doesn't happen. Now, this was filmed sort of a few months back, and we've just had a shooting of a police officer in Ireland quite badly, although that was by a terrorist group. However, what I want people to understand is just because you have one bad apple in a whole tree doesn't mean that everybody who goes out and films a police station now has to face abuse of their rights, and certainly has to face abuse at all.
Fucking slaphead. Trying to put hands on me and that. Yeah, let's have a little walk around. Yeah, this place is, there's some like goons in there. Yeah, did you hear? Yeah, you got all that. Yeah, kids. Hold on. Let me just quickly sum this up. Yeah, we're just going to keep walking around in that. What's this, Stroud Police Station? Hold on. Let me.
Anyway, guys, thanks very much for joining me on this audit. Kollee Berks, he obviously goes around and finishes off. But don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to audit the auditors. We're going to see what actually happens. It was completely inappropriate of Kollee in the end to call him a fucking slaphead. However, at the end of the day, they cannot feel alarmed, harassed or distressed being officers on the law. So don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. And if you want me to audit any particular video, just send me a link to it and I'll pull it down. See you again.